This week on the Unqualified Gamers Podcast, we talk about the Squid Game 3 trailer, Gorilla vs. 100 Men, and the Switch 2 release. Episode 122, ladies and gentlemen.
122.
I don't wear this shirt to piss people off. This is just what was on the shelf, okay? I go to the left side of the shelf, or the rack, and I pick up a shirt, okay?
So is it just...
I don't even know what I'm wearing half the time.
Does it just so happen that Thursday, however your laundry cycle goes, is always a
It must
shirt?
be. I don't even, to be honest, I tried to find my SpaceX shirt the other day, and I couldn't find it.
Bree hit it. She's tired of wearing it.
I think she took it out of rotation.
I'm guessing that
She
you
does
wear
that
that
with my
shirt like
shit.
3 or 4 times a week. You like get home, take your work shirt off, and just throw your Tesla on, and you're just like, SpaceX.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but yeah, I don't know where the fucking SpaceX one is right now, but I know
It's hiding.
that yeah, I think she took it. I mean, I have my Nelk Boy shirts too that I wear often. I don't know. I only wear she does laundry too often. So
Oh no, first world problems. You have
I
too
know.
many clean clothes.
I know. Every once in a while we'll get into it to where she does it not often enough.
Yep, that definitely, you need to divorce her right now. She does
Right?
too much laundry. She takes care of
know.
you too well. Get rid of her.
I know.
She feeds you? She feeds you too, doesn't she?
She does. Well, usually we go out to eat a lot because we don't cook for 2 people. So she made spaghetti last night though. It was really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. But I've been dealing with a kidney stone for a week as of today. So 7 days.
Why don't you just get rid of it?
I thought about that.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's
then I
supposed to be
thought
power in your position,
the excruciating pain
which is kind of fun to deal with.
makes me more of a man. It makes me feel alive, you know?
How's that?
Especially when it spikes up to a 10 in pain and like I want to cry, but I don't. That makes me feel like a man, you know?
You are a
man. It makes
man
me
that
feel
way.
strong. Yeah.
I must be the opposite of that then, because I just don't get them.
Listen, man, I never got them either. This is my second one, and it is horrible. It is the worst.
Drinks.
Yeah, and I'm done.
Drinks.
I'm done with them.
Are you?
I'm
No more
done
Orange
with
Monsters?
them. I'm done.
So you're cool with no more monster sponsors?
If they want to sponsor us, I'll drink them and I'll deal with kidney stones.
Okay,
but
it's fine. I'll drink enough for all of us.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I don't drink Monster or anything.
I tell you what, man, it is real pain. I had Friday or Saturday. It was like I had like a 4-hour period of no pain where I thought like it was gone. I was like, I must have passed it. We're good. I'll pee it out later. No big deal. And I was all having a good time, and it came back. Yeah.
Maybe you had 2. Maybe you did pass the one.
No, I check every time I pee, and it has not come out yet.
He just waits to hear that like high pitched clink against the
Ting,
porcelain.
yeah, but yeah, no sound, no noise.
Are you gonna go out and get one of those like little strainers just to make sure?
I peed in one of those at the hospital for the first one, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that again. It's weird peeing through a strainer. I just want it to be done because it hurt. Last week we were at like 40 minutes. I'm like, can I talk these guys into ending it early? You think do you think they'll just like be okay with ending it after 40 minutes?
No.
But I was like, yeah, we still have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm just gonna sit here and try not to cry on the podcast.
You can real men cry.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just didn't.
Cry.
But real girls don't cry. That's weird, isn't it?
It's big girls don't cry.
Oh, big girls. That's my fault.
So if you be one of them, skinny TikTok influencers, that's all they do is cry.
Yeah.
Speaking of like real men, the whole 100 men versus a gorilla. That's the Mr. Beast thing, right, Kai?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. He came out with the question of could 100 men take a gorilla?
This took over the internet a few weeks ago.
Easily.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now.
I would say it took over more like the world. I mean, there was 2 questions that came off of that. There was the 100 men versus a gorilla, which someone was like on a tour in Africa or something like that, and they had the tour guide. They asked the tour guide, they're like, realistically, how many men would it take for you guys to take on that gorilla? And he was like, we could get it done with three men. So I think 100. Really, if you think about it, you get 100 guys, you get like 2 guys on each limb. The gorilla's done. You know, I'm pretty strong guys. But
you let me pick the 10 guys, they're killing the gorilla. We might lose 1, we might lose 2, but John Jones, Brock Lesnar.
Oh my!
Bill Cosby would win.
Yeah, Bill Cosby. Put Diddy in there. And they're able to grab you with all that loot out there.
The biggest, baddest dudes, right? Like, do you think that a gorilla could take a punch, like several punches from Brock Lesnar?
Absolutely. Sure. Their bone density is way more.
Here's the thing: like a 1-to-1 thing. I don't think Brock Lesnar stands a chance on a 1-to-1.
No, not 1-to-1. No, not 1-to-1.
Right. Now, so the whole thing of it being able to take a punch, it fights other gorillas.
No, right? You're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, like, if they're holding him down and Lesnar's going to town on his head, you know,
yeah. I mean, if you put 8,000 milligrams of ketamine into it, I can take on a gorilla 1v1. If you're just going to hold it down, I still wouldn't
try that.
You're supposed to.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like 10 of the biggest badasses in the UFC ever. You know, like Khabib. Like, come on, dude. Islam. Like, these guys are strong as hell, and like there's 10 of them, and they're working together. They're taking this gorilla down.
Well, here's the other question that went around because people changed it for that one, and it was 100 Americans versus 100 Brits. Now, obviously, someone in Britain came up with this.
Yeah,
and they're like, you've got to look at Liverpool.
Give us 30 people from Florida, and we got this. 30 people from Florida.
One of the Brits said. There was a Brit that did a whole thing. He's from the UK somewhere. He lived in America for a while, and he does a lot of those like misconceptions. So a lot of people.
Are you talking about Josh from England too?
I
think Josh
he is,
and Jace. Yeah.
But
yeah, that was a dude that traveled.
These people from the UK are like, how can these Americans never leave their country? Mm-hmm. How uncultured are they? And he's like, do you have any idea how massive these states
If you've never been in the United States, you don't know how massive it is. Because like I have a friend that lives in England, and they will fly instead of, they won't drive 2 hours away. Like, they just won't do it. We both understand. I drove 7 hours to Indiana and back just for a weekend with Zeus, and then I drove to Texas for a fucking weekend. That was 12 hours for a weekend.
And that's arguably only about halfway across the U.S. because we were in like the northern part of Texas.
Yeah,
and I mean, you probably still had another 6-7 hours. If you
no.
Texas all the way down.
So from Dallas to like South Padre Island, it's another like 12 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've driven.
There was one chick from Britain that was like, if you drove from, they're like, that whole TikTok trend where it was like, oh, you're from England. Are you from London or whatever? And they're like, oh no, not even close. And then they show like a pinpoint in the travel distance, and it's like an hour and 12 minutes. And we're like, so you're close.
So when I lived out in California, the LA area was a 2.5 mile diameter. Because I lived in a completely other like county. But if I was talking to someone from, another state or another country, I still said, I live, about an hour and a half outside of LA. I still use that as a reference point. But the actual like greater LA area, you're talking 12 million people. The area is just gigantic. And
yeah, so Texas can fit England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Ireland, and Scotland, and only fill it about halfway up.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more than half, but yeah.
And that's just Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is a 23.5-hour drive east and west from side to side.
So Alaska, Texas, Oregon, Montana, and New Mexico are all larger than the UK.
I took the 10 from Florida all the way to California. It took me less than 2 days. It took me like a straight drive. If it would have been straight driving, like not stopping for gas, not stopping for rest, it probably would have taken me about 28 hours. And I think Texas was like 10 or 11 of those hours.
Yeah, Texas is
to get through.
Massive.
And
but yeah,
I was like,
I'm telling you, you get like 10 people from Florida, like the crazy ones, Oh, yeah. And they're fighting like 100 Brits.
Like you know what? I agree with that. Get some crocodile wrestlers out there.
Yeah, dude.
You just wait and see.
Yeah.
You have I don't think they understand. Like, we have people in the mountains. We have people in like how many different like ghetto areas do we have? We have like the Bronx, Chicago, Detroit, Compton. Like, we have so many different areas where like their life is fighting.
Yeah,
and then,
that's what they do.
And then we have like the redneck side where all we do is like wrestle different animals and like kill our own food and stuff like that. Like, way different. There's like so many different regions in America alone, like way different. One guy was like, "Oh, we'll bring in the Scots." I'm like, "Then you're not."
On average, the Americans will outweigh the Brits by like 10 to 15% also.
And probably
this
be
is where
taller
obesity
too, right?
wins. I think on average,
wins.
Yeah, we're probably a little taller.
And we don't have to worry about bad teeth because, well, the Brits.
I don't think that's as much a thing anymore, but
I don't know, man.
It was at the time.
Okay, I want you. Okay, you have homework now, Punishment. All right, I want you to like go to different British TikTokers, and I need you to keep a tally of who has good teeth and bad teeth. And I don't want this veneer thing where they're just like they're fake plastic teeth. I want to know like real teeth, bad teeth.
Then you'd have to go into dental records who got racist, who didn't. That's whatever.
I haven't even had time to do shit this week. I've been so busy with work.
Have you watched? Have you been able to watch the Squid Games?
I did watch that about 2 minutes before I hit record. I watched that.
So you had time. There it was right there.
Yeah. So I'm all for like the Squid Games. I think it was amazing. I'm a person that watches it dubbed. A lot of people think that's crazy, but my ADD doesn't let me watch subtitles very well. So
okay. Well, I think I do dubbed as well because it's just easier to. If I'm reading subtitles, then I'm struggling. But Trent Hart commented, and he said, and he commented this on YouTube saying, "I need to hear an update on what you guys think of the S3 trailer of Squid Games."
I don't think it really gave us anything other than the fact that everybody's still alive. They didn't just kill everybody, I guess, because the way it ended, they could have just killed everybody and been done with it.
Well, you know they weren't going to. They showed another possible, like what the next game was probably going to be at the very end with the two dolls facing each other, or statues, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And then in the trailer, I mean, you see jump rope of some kind. It looks like they're double dutching or just, I don't know, normal jump rope.
Jump roping, it looked like on train tracks.
Well, it looked like it was like a tiny, like a small beam type of thing. And I'm sure the jump rope speeds up and you either have to be one of the last ones in a certain group or you have to beat a certain amount of jumps or something. I obviously have no idea how it's going to go. My thought would probably be it's going to be like tug of war, how they had a certain number of people on each side. But this time it'll just be a certain number of people that are on the jump rope and you have to be the last one to survive, would be my guess. That's one way to cut it down.
I don't like any of the games where there is a guarantee people are going to die.
Yeah.
Other than the Squid Game, the very last one, one-on-one, fine. I'm cool with that. But like, I really like the beginning games and like the first Squid Game where it was like the little sugar cookies where everyone has a chance to live, but you might not. Or red light, green light, where everyone has a chance to live, but you screw up. And then when you get to tug of war, it's like, well, we just want to like knock numbers down. And I don't agree with that portion of it. Same reason why I liked the old Saws, where there was a way to get out of the traps. Mm-hmm. But then one of the newer ones, it was designed for them to fail.
Well, the one girl who was supposed to be the apprentice actually started making the traps that were designed to fail. That's why she ended up getting put back in to the games because she wasn't supposed to do that. So,
and then going on with that, especially like the first Squid Games, the one where it was like the glass and like the breakable, non-breakable. Spoiler alerts! If you haven't seen it yet, you guys are screwed. All right, we're talking about this. Yeah. You've had a couple of years to watch it. Cece looks really enthralled by something, and I don't know what it is.
I am. I'm reading the list. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening, but I'm reading the list.
And then, like, when this one dude has expertise, I don't even know what kid's game that is. You know what I mean? That point, it's just a luck of the draw and maybe memory, but not really.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
My question is, based off the trailer,
pissed how they ended it.
Do you think that 456 is the I don't know, Dungeon Master, whatever, I can't think of his name. The winner, but the guy who runs the actual thing, the Black Mask guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think they're brothers? Because that's a theory, is they're brothers. And when they bring him in, Like he's in a tuxedo at the very end with 456 on the back, and then they.
thought. Oh, hold on. The mask.
The guy with the mask has a brother.
The brother of the cop.
Yes.
But there's also the theory that those two are brothers through the dad and like his mom as well. So it's like
I guess
they both don't like
the
milk or whatever, and
that's reaching at that point.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you think that they're related, that never even crossed my mind. I didn't hear that. I don't hear much about Squid Games because it's not like going right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories that go. And
you know what I am hearing?
What's that?
I'm hearing that the PS5 and PS5 Pro, instead of raising their prices like Microsoft did with Xbox, are lowering their price $50 to $100 off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, the PS5 is $50 to $100, but the PS5 Pro is like $50.
It's $50.
Off.
Okay.
Yeah, but they also have like bundles that are on sale. So like the Black Ops 6 bundle is $449 for the disc drive, but if you get the non-disc drive, it's $399.
So the disc drive is $150 more, essentially,
correct.
Right?
Well,
it's
$50 more.
Oh, $50.
$399,
Yeah. My bad. Sorry. My brain didn't work there. Is it similar to like Xbox where like the discless version has like really low storage?
I don't know if it has a low storage. I think it's just because when you have the disc drive, obviously you have to put in all the. I don't know if it's going to change the storage or not, but you can get the hard copies as to where when you get the other version,
but you still got to
have a chance to use a disc.
But you still got to install it.
Everything has to be downloaded digitally. So
yeah,
you'd have.
That was something that
look at the specs.
I hated when they started doing that. Like you buy a disc, you should be able to play it off the disc. But I understand it's faster to install it, and then the disc basically is a key to it. But I don't.
Speaking of all of this stuff and money, Randy Pitchford, he screwed up again.
Who's that?
Well, hold on, because I just want people to know that we're pinning that real quick. The controllers are $55 off. Is it 50? All controllers are fit? They are $55.
I would say they're probably $55.
They're $55.
I think they're only like $70. Yeah. So if they're $55 off, I'll go buy them all.
The PlayStation Plus 12, only the 12-month ones are 33% off. Which I mean, at that point, you're really just kind of buying a 3-month card anyway.
Dude, I might have to get it now. I was gonna wait till Black Friday.
Well, when this comes out, which will be the 9th, you'll have 2 days. This ends on the 11th. So June 11th, last day to get any of this stuff that's on sale. So get it now.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be SOL. Crazy. And then you might as well have it for whatever. I mean, that's up to you. I told someone else to get it today. But you were saying, yes, he messed up again.
Randy Pitchford.
Mm-hmm.
He doubled down on his real fans comment yet again.
Of course.
Borderlands, can you give us a W, please? Like, okay, so last week on Thursday, Tiny Tina's Wonderland was the free game on Epic. So that was the free game for the week. It's not there anymore. As of the recording of this, it's no longer there.
Was it
but
now? Oh no, it's not there now.
He doubled down again and said, something along the lines of, for the real fans on a budget, it's free right now. And I'm like, why would you say that? Like, I can look up a direct quote from it, but he pretty much called out for those that were like financially challenged or whatever it is. For the real fans that are financially challenged, Tiny Tina's is free right now.
Probably just trying to make light of the situation, but
or trolling.
I probably wouldn't do it. But
oh my god, like this dude cannot. And I think it's just ego at this point that he feels he's too big to fail. But come on, man, give us something.
There was something I saw today, which is kind of another L as well, but it's for Nintendo, where Nintendo's Switch 2 released like last night. A whole bunch of people were lining up, buying them out, all that good stuff, which is confusing me. Whatever, you do what you want. I mean, if you're a big Nintendo fanboy, that's on you. But apparently there's a demo of like the best way to use your Switch, but Nintendo put it as like a game in a sense, and you have to pay for that instruction manual for your Switch 2.
And
which is insane.
In order to do 100% on this game, you need $95 worth of equipment in order to 100% the entire thing that should have been free. One of the other things that's happening is on the packaging. I guess the Switch packaging is so crap
I heard about this.
That when they are stapling the receipts to the box at a bunch of stores, it's cracking the glass on the Switch.
I've also heard there, like, when you take the Switch out, there's like a filament on it that says "Do not remove the filament" in the instructions. And I guess people may or may not have been removing it already.
So whenever you get a new TV or something, you get that little film that you just peel off, and it's one of the most satisfying things that you can do when you buy, something new. Phones, monitors, TVs.
Yeah, so I heard about this. So is this
it's supposed to be a type of screen protector to keep the glass from shattering if it breaks.
Right, but there's probably other plastic on top of that, right? Or is this just you're not supposed to peel off the plastic at all?
I don't know. I don't have one.
So I read about this too.
Yeah, it says it in the instructions, but I don't know which film it's. Is it the one that goes over the entire screen? You're supposed to leave that on there at all times, or
I don't know. I read about this.
I don't know. If I had a Switch too, I could tell you, but I don't have one. I don't care.
Another thing that's happened is that hackers were able to get a hold of some Switch 2s early, and every single thing that they did, even trying just to see how it worked, bricked their systems. So, and I brought it up in one of the comments because there was a TikToker that brought it up that if you were to try to replace the Joy-Cons yourself, that could be considered a modification, and that could also brick your system.
Yeah, or if you don't use like an OEM charging cable and like the voltage is detected to kind of sway, they could count that as trying to mod it and brick it.
So people are now predicting that if your game crashes in a certain way, that it could be considered some kind of a modification was attempted and could brick your system.
Well, have you heard of the extreme increase in orange screens of death with the?
I don't even know what the hell that is.
So it's the first Nintendo Switch. Okay. So when it's kind of like the red ring of death for Xbox, but for your Nintendo Switch, the orange screen of death where it just kind of like shuts off and just stops working.
I heard about that.
Apparently, all of a sudden, Switch. Right. Well, recently, numbers have just increased exponentially with people who are getting this orange screen of death. Don't know how, don't know why. It's just happening, which kind of weird right around Switch 2 release. Don't know why, but someone thinks they have a fix for it from what they've tested. Anyways, they said it won't work if it's overheated because then you've got to go in and do some soldering, thermal paste, all that good stuff. But he said what he found was if you hold the power button for 12 seconds and then have it turn off, let it sit for 20 to 30 seconds and turn it back on, it should be good.
But did you guys ever get the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death?
I did. Yeah. I had to send it in. They sent me a refurbished one.
So I got it, and I was in the middle of Lego Indiana Jones, and I was working 100%ing that game. Okay. And so
destroyed all the data.
So what caused the Red Ring of Death was, I believe, it would get really hot, obviously, and then it would cool down too quickly, and it would raise the heat sink off the processor, I believe, or something like that. And so I heard about the towel trick. So what I did for 2 weeks is I would play until I would get the red ring, and then I would first we wrapped it in towels and put it in the oven and let it warm up.
Did you turn the oven on?
Oh yeah. Okay. Turn the oven on. Yeah. I don't remember what temperature.
We do not recommend you do any of.
Yeah. Don't do this. Don't do this ever. But I did it, and then we figured out after that you could just wrap it in 2 towels and turn it on, and let it run for 20 minutes, and it would heat up enough that it would go back, and then you could play. So, but yeah, I did that for 2 weeks. Then I sent it in.
All I did was take my hard drive off and then send it in. Yeah. They sent me a refurbished one, reattach my hard drive.
Yeah, I did that, but I was not waiting. I was afraid it was going to take 2 months. It only took probably 3 weeks, I think, 2-3 weeks. But yeah, I was beating that game before I sent it in. Yeah.
So going back to the whole Nintendo thing, I think once again, it's just another thing like Apple. They are just designing these things to fail at a certain time so that, this new greater thing comes out. It's just another.
Like I said, we've already gone over this whole thing with Apple like 3 or 4 times, but like they all Apple did was they released the same updates. So like iOS 7 was, let's just say, I don't remember what exactly iOS it was, but iOS 7 was what the phone came with, and like 2 phones away were on iOS 10, and it would put that update on the old phones, and they couldn't handle it like the new ones could. So they didn't have the same hardware, so it would wear the battery down faster.
Right,
So I don't think this is exactly
but it was a
the same
mandatory update that they had
Right.
planned
Well,
to do to slow your phone down. And the whole thing was, like I said, they lost this in court where they had
no,
to
they
pay
did
out.
lose it in court. But I'm not saying it wasn't intention, but like, yeah, obviously it helped them sell more phones, but I don't think it's the
Now they can
exact
make
same
it to where
thing.
you
I mean,
don't have
The
to
reason
download
that I
the
bring
updates.
it up is that we
Yeah,
had
now you
quite a
don't have
few
to.
people that were pissed off that Apple does certain things and that we weren't calling them out for it, or the rest of the gaming
I haven't
consoles
seen
or
I haven't
whatever.
seen that yet. Trust me. Ever since Zeus got on this podcast, even before Zeus, Reap talked so much shit about Apple. And yeah, I mean, it's normal. I just like Apple. But I buy a new phone as often as I can. But I have a fucking Android for a work phone, and I hate it. I hate it with a deadly passion.
I'm so glad that my new job has Apple phones for work, because I had an Android for my work phone at what was it, Denko or something, and I had like
I
a
even asked
Galaxy
them, I'm like,
S4 or something.
can I just use my phone? Like, I don't want that phone. They're
Mhm.
like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, it protects your privacy and stuff too.
I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
Well, with
So
a whole
much.
bunch of shitty things happening with did you play Call of Duty at all recently, or no?
I've not. I haven't played anything really. I played Tarkov for like a half an hour the other day, but I haven't played anything all week. I've been so slammed at work.
Well, I would stay away from Call of Duty. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but
I heard that they like explain what they did, because I saw a video of somebody talking about it the other day that is in the know.
There's
This is
a
they were
few
going to
things. I've
sue
seen a
Call of
few
Duty.
videos on a bunch of different things that have happened. One thing was they were hiding rank levels for players in the lobby. So, say you join a lobby, you can't see what the other players' ranks are, because people, I guess, were just backing out when they saw high level players. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's in multiplayer. And then while you're creating a class, they're now doing advertisements for bundles inside your class setup.
So they have removed that, and they said that it was something they wanted to test, right? Or air quotes again, but they have removed that already. But
we want to test
that doesn't bother me.
inside of your fucking.
The only thing that I ask for is like, put it off to the side so I don't have to click out of it. I don't care. Advertise whatever you want. I don't care.
I think it was off to the side, but
it was off to the side.
Still think it's...
But the thing is
it wouldn't
that
bother
they were
me.
still putting advertisements in gun creation screens.
Yeah. I know where the store is. If I want to go buy a bundle, I'll go buy a bundle.
I just hate that every time I start Call of Duty, it like brings me to the battle pass. Like, buy the battle pass. I have to click like 2 or 3 clicks every time. Well, it's just so frustrating.
The newer
I'm not buying the battle pass ever again.
Yeah, I never did. The update had a huge problem with lag too, and that was like one of the biggest things that people are complaining about. Has been someone said that like once you make it inside the second circle, the lag stops, but before that, it's just a huge lag problem. And it was Tim the Tapman and Nick Merckx were playing, and they were spectating a hacker after they got killed or whatever have you. Then later, the hacker came in and talked to them about how to fix the lag. And it's funny because the hackers were the ones who they made hacks that were undetectable by Ricochet. Mm-hmm. So they know how that works. And then they were telling them, well, this is what's happening with the system, and this is how you fix it. So then Tim and Nick did what they said, and the lag went away, and it fixed it.
Oh, shit.
But Ricochet spends how much and can't get hackers out of the game, period. But the hackers are telling them how to fix their game.
Yeah, well, that's how it's always been. I mean, here's the thing. It takes a team of developers months or however long to ban people. We can go in, we can spectate someone for like 6 or 7 minutes. Like, how can Tim go into these lobbies that are just called spectating hackers and have a hacker in every single one of his lobbies and be like, if they gave him the ability to, you would have a minimum of like one hacker completely deleted and gone from the game forever every 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes. I understand that there are probably tens or hundreds of thousands out there, but the fact that
Tim dies all the time, that's a little messed up.
I watched a guy the other day that he was streaming Call of Duty, and he was playing. He saw a hacker in the game. After the game, invited the hacker in, and the hacker told him that if his account gets banned, you can buy pre-made Steam accounts for like 50 cents a piece.
Yep.
And all you have to do is just sign out of Steam, sign back into Steam, load up Call of Duty, and play, because Activision doesn't require some kind of an email address or anything. I guess
doesn't require an email. Yeah,
so
he's able to just copy and paste those.
Yeah, so he just copy and pasted, and he said within 90 seconds from getting banned, he's back in the game.
And that's because they still make so much money off of those things, even if it's just advertisements.
Yeah.
They make a bunch of money off of these people coming back. I still think that I'm going to say majority of the hacks that are getting around Ricochet are designed that way because Activision, Blizzard, whoever is the one that's still creating them. It is making them too much money.
I wouldn't say it's Activision or doing it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's not a developer doing it, like somebody that works there, like behind their back, because they do typically like sue. Like they sue people, right? Like they're not going to sue themselves.
So let me get this straight. You don't think that they will sell a hack to someone and then sue that person for using a hack, but not go after the developer of it until it's been a year or two later?
I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
The main reason I would say stay off of Warzone right now is because of the hack that has been happening, which Nav was actually streaming on Twitch when it happened to him. But what's happening is hackers are able to get into and access your PC through the COD
so
Warzone
this is what I heard.
Yeah. And then they're putting malware on your PC. They said that some people were able to stop it, like their security did what it was supposed to do and detected the malware and stopped it. They were able to make sure that didn't go through. But there's been a bunch of people that have been playing Call of Duty Warzone, and then the hacker comes in from their lobby and just completely destroys their PC.
Crazy.
Takes whatever information they want. So,
yeah, I guess I'll stay away from COD for a little bit. I was actually kind of enjoying it there for a little while, but I really
go outside, go run in the street, go hiking.
Racy and I played Call of Duty for like a week, and then that was pretty much the end of it.
So. I had fun playing with you guys that one night we played, though. We got to win.
With us. Right.
We got to win, all right?
We're over in fucking Control. CC's all the way on the other side in prison, like at the top of the roof, like, well, I died again. Like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Hey, it's rebirth, baby. Go right back to your team then, you know? It's all right.
Yeah, as long as your team does good and keeps you alive, you're welcome.
Yeah, I trusted you guys.
It sounds like you're setting us up for Doom. You know what I mean?
No, we won. We got to win.
Did. Well, speaking of Doom, there's Avengers Doomsday that I was wondering if you're going to catch that or not. So there's the actor who played Nightcrawler in the original X-Men, right? I think it was X2 or something that he was in. Yep. Alan Cummings. He did an interview where he was talking to someone about X-Men coming back, and he's actually going to be playing Nightcrawler again. So, I mean, it's been, 20, 30 years or something like that, and he's going to be coming back and playing Nightcrawler again. So that's pretty awesome. You got to retain that position. But he was talking about it, and he said, I'm going to be fighting Pedro Pascal and hitting him in the face. So what that leads us to believe is that it will be the X-Men versus Avengers with, the whole Fantastic Four coming in. So it should be that comic of X-Men versus Avengers.
I mean, if you think about it, Doomsday was an X-Men villain, so
I mean, it would also make sense.
Or not X-Men, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. Yeah,
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic. Yeah. But you don't know if it's just
crazy.
You wouldn't know if Avengers Doomsday is like the Avengers coming and connecting with the Fantastic Four, and then then them fighting Doom or something like that. But this brings X-Men and Avengers into the.
I'm super excited for it. I mean, I've liked all of the Fantastic Four movies. I've liked them all. I've liked all the X-Men movies.
I've only watched the first
I liked Green Lantern. So, I mean, everybody hated that. I liked it. So I liked I like the new Star Wars movies. I don't know. I just enjoy the shit. So, but people hated all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. And Robert Downey Jr. is Doomsday. So
right. That's what I'm hoping. It kind of goes back
or
and
Doom.
gets back to its roots.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's been kind of in the funk.
Again,
it's gonna be good.
Has there been a podcast that we have not talked about CJX updates since they?
Well, I mean, it's actually releasing in 5 days, 6 days. It'll be released by the time I think this episode comes out, or just be releasing. Okay. So it's like more just like that information that's being released right before release.
It's released on the 10th.
Yeah, so
the day after
Tuesday, next Tuesday. So it'll be the day after
it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, after this podcast comes out. So, they're saying that placement matches are no longer going to return to Rainbow Six Siege, because you used to have to you go to do ranked, and then you would have to play X amount of games to figure out what your rank was going to be.
Yeah.
And they've switched the system entirely. So now it's not just going to be what your rank is and you're playing against those ranks. You're going to have an MMR that's separated into rank and skill, and then it'll use your skill for the matchmaking. So you could be in a lobby with bronze, silver, gold, plat, but everybody has the same skill level.
I'm gonna
so you're playing that.
Try.
You think you're gonna download it?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played a game that is actually MMR based, or is it all just rank based?
I don't know.
I think it's all.
To be honest, I don't ever pay attention.
Okay, so the way that MMR works is that you have your base. You start off. Let's say that it's out of 1 to 3,000, and you start off with a clean slate of 1,500. The way that the whole thing works is that if you beat a team that is of a higher MMR or skill level than you, you'll go up some. It's the matchmaking.
Right, you gain MMR. Right.
But if you beat a team that is 50 or so below you, you're only going to gain 1 or 2 points. And once you get a certain amount of gap between those things, if you lose a match, you'll lose 150 MMR, but if you win, you only gain 4.
Yeah.
And that's how they try to balance it out. But the way it's supposed to work out is that when you reach whatever your MMR is supposed to be, you're supposed to have a win rate of 50%. They want you right there in the middle. So if you're at a 2,800 out of that 3K, that's where your 50% is. You win a game, you lose a game, but you should be gaining or losing about the same amount. But the number is always hidden.
That was the problem with Marvel Rivals, is people with lower than a 50% win rate were hitting Grand Champ.
I just feel like the whole ranked system, Fragpunk, loved that game. I grinded to get to ranked. And when I got there, it changed so much that I didn't want to play it anymore. It ruined it for me, because it was one of those games where it was 3 to 5 rounds, best of 5. Was it best of 5 or something?
It was best. Yeah. Whoever first to 4.
Was it first to 4 wins? Okay. Mm-hmm. But you could get a game knocked out in 20 minutes. So I would play it and do well or lose or whatever. But I would be I'll play another one. I'll play another one. But then what is it? You had to win 7 games or something, or 6?
6
in ranked. Mm-hmm. So it just added so much more to it that it was you really.
But you got to remember, in ranked, they're trying to be. You have to be a lot more fair, and you want to give the opponents a little bit more of a chance. It still ends in the duel if it ties up, but
right. But it just felt like it was taking so much longer to get through.
And I don't even think you had. Did you have the card selector who would pick to ban cards or pick cards that we wanted to use?
Yeah.
Because when you get to a high enough level in ranked, what happens is it'll show 9 different cards, and you have one person dedicated to picking either banning or keeping cards, and that person will.
Maybe I didn't get that high then.
Okay, you'll have to sit there and select the lower ranks of ranked play. You pretty much just go in and you do something.
You
kind
buy
of
the
normal,
cards, right?
Basically,
yeah.
Do normal.
It just like I said, it brought it from a 20-minute game session to
But you got to remember, it's ranked. People are going to want a little bit more structure in a ranked game.
Yeah, it completely
so when it comes to
shut
games
me down.
That's what happens. I mean, Overwatch, when you're playing a casual game, you're just on one side. You're either attack or defense. Same thing with Rivals, and that's it. Once you go into a competitive game, you switch sides. And so if you push that cart all the way to the end, and the other one does,
yeah, but
as
you
well,
switch sides in Fragpunk too. I'm just, it just like I said,
I
just
understand.
Well, yeah,
but
extended
the
it.
games
but it's
take
a little different because
minimum like 30 to 40% longer in a ranked match.
Yeah. I was just, it ruined it for me. I won't play no more.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I really enjoyed it up until then, though.
Well, the good news is with Siege X is like if you don't play for a while, they're going to have something called rank decay. So basically, you'll lose some of that MMR, and then when you jump back in, you'll play lower ranks, and then that way you can kind of get back to where you were. And like the longer, obviously, you don't play, the longer it'll decay and stuff like that. And then,
so is the rank decay only going to be at the topper echelon like it is with most? Because the reason that it was in a lot of other games is that a lot of people with their friends or whatever would get multiple accounts to like top 500 in places that other people can't get to, or it would take them a long time to get to, and they would just sit there and they would just take up like 6, 7, 8 of these top 500 spots for a single person. And so that rank decay, if you don't play for a week, you drop down, you continue to drop down, but it was only in like the top 5, maybe 10% after you hit a certain rank. That's when your rank decay starts.
I feel like it'll be for a lot more than just the top however many. I feel like it'll go pretty far down. Obviously, it might not hit like the bottom 1 or 2, just because obviously when you're down there, you're pretty much in a standard gameplay anyways. So probably won't go that low, but I don't know for sure. They also have it to where consoles, the older gen consoles, cannot play dual front right now. So it seems like they're starting to push out old consoles, and you'll have to upgrade when obviously the X continues to upgrade, and the more updates they do, you'll probably end up losing the ability to play on your old gen consoles. But as of right now, you can still play everything except for dual. So
going back to what you were saying before, having people that are like below a 50% win rate that are like way up there in rankings.
Right.
There was a way to pretty much just to screw with your MMR. You'd lose a bunch of matches in the start and you would lower your MMR. You basically hit the floor with it. So then if you beat someone that is 1500, you're automatically just having this huge boost up. So if you go out there and you lose your first 30 or 40 matches and just tank your MMR, a lot of people did in Overwatch 2, where they would just smurf accounts. They would tank their MMRs down into bronze so they could have fun and do whatever the hell they wanted to without having to go against these high level teams where their, actual skill level was.
Right.
With those types of things, again, you lose a bunch of games, you tank your MMR. So then when you start winning, your MMR just shoots up.
Got rockets.
And all of a
sudden,
what
else helps with your MMR? The Pulsar Noctua Edition Mouse, guys.
Yeah, the really good, cool mouse.
It's the ugliest mouse I've ever seen.
What is this? We're gonna have to work on that.
It's almost like a skeleton. It's almost like a skeleton watch. Have you ever seen a skeleton watch?
It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
Have you ever seen a skeleton watch?
Apparently not.
Because
so a skeleton watch is pretty much just a watch that's see-through on the back, so you can see like all the gears and everything on the inside.
Okay, yeah,
it's really cool. It's similar to that with this mouse.
So I've seen the mice that have like all this stuff cut out so that to make it lighter or whatever. I like a heavy mouse. I don't know why. I have all the weights in my mouse. I've got the Logitech G whatever. Before I had the Corsair Dark Core Pro. I like a heavy mouse, but you know how dirty your mouse gets? The inside of these things. How do people use them long term and they don't get nasty inside?
They wash their hands before they play.
I wash my hands before I come down, but still, dead skin on your mouse and shit.
Things.
Oh, I eat stuff down here too. Yeah, for sure I do. But
so when you have a dedicated training area or gaming area, and you want to reduce the drag and play at a higher level, you start really maximizing what you do with your mice.
I mean, I guess, but this just seems like a nightmare to use.
Seems pretty cool. You remember the fans you could plug into the old controllers, the old Xbox controllers that when you were playing it would blow on your hands?
Yeah.
So this one is going to have a small PC fan that'll blow on your hand, and you can change the speed of the fan. There's a button on the side of the mouse, and you can use the scroll wheel to turn the fan up or down.
How much is
so
this
imagine
mouse
you're playing
cost?
With a mouse. About they don't have a price out right now. The guess is probably around $200. But
I could put a mouse. I could put a fan in
so.
any mouse I wanted to. Okay. But I don't want to. I don't like the holes. I don't like the holes. You think you telling me I can't do it?
Sure, go for it. With this mouse, they were handing out little keychains that have the fan too. So, but it'll have a magnetic charging base, kind of like your other mouse has.
Oh, did you see the new?
It'll have like a 10-hour battery.
Do you see the new mouse pad that plugs in, so where you never have to charge your mouse again?
I have seen that. Mm-hmm.
It wirelessly charges your mouse.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Okay, that's awesome.
That's what you want.
Yes.
By the way, going back, the fact that it is it's a collab between Pulsar and Noctua. Noctua, for those that don't know, is probably the most efficient PC fan that's ever been made. It is like the gold standard that things are compared to when it comes to the fan that's on.
Are they all like ugly colors too? Like
absolutely,
they
mouse?
Are. Of course.
First of all, that was like a desert.
Of course they are.
I saw like a desert, coyote desert. That
with
one looked
red.
Sweet. I didn't see any of the red on it.
Cece, if you go look up the Noctua, it looks like an old Winnebago type coloring. Like that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's what this looks like. This mouse looks like. It looks. But
that is
horrid.
Noctua. And the thing is that it doesn't matter how it looks. It works so well. Like it cools better than 95+% of the liquid cooling systems out there, and it's just a fan.
Right. I mean, listen, I'm all about having good fans in your PC. Okay,
but I got in my mouse.
I got the Lee. No, it's just it's got all these holes in it, man. Like
ventilation.
I don't know.
It has added weight. I mean, it has an extra fan in there, so I mean, you should be happy.
It's actually a lightweight.
I don't know. It feels weird. I don't know. I'm new to like the thumb, the thing that holds the thumb. I really like that. Like the thing that holds the thumb. My second Dark Core Pro finally died on me, so I got the Logitech or whatever, and I bought. So I have a problem with Corsair again. Okay. So
you have a problem with PCs.
Yeah, I do.
Gonna have a problem.
So anyway, so I don't know why. I was home alone, unsupervised, and I went to Best Buy, and I went to go get a mouse. Okay, so I bought the mouse.
Your oven set to 350 for 45 minutes wrapped in a
so
towel.
I bought a headset too because I wanted a new headset. My headset, I feel like my headset's wearing out. So $130 Corsair headset. Okay. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it, whatever. I brought it home, and it's not even USB-C. It's the USB mini still.
Yep.
So I plugged it in, charged it, used it to play Tarkov one night. The sound on it was like super bassy. I tried to mess with the settings. I couldn't get the settings to where I wanted them in it. But I was like, you know what? It's a nice new, it's wireless. It's going to be wonderful. You know, it's not my 5-year-old Razer Krakens that I paid $80 for. But
the Krakens.
It was the Kraken Tournament Edition. They're awesome. Anyway, it's metal instead of plastic. So, but anyway,
I meant the sound. I didn't like the sound inside the Krakens.
Oh, I like it.
Nope.
Anyway, so I shut the headphones off and I set it down after I played like 2 rounds of Tarkov. Okay. I come back down like an hour later and turned it on, put it back on, and it said I had 10% of battery remaining. I used it for like 2 factory runs on Tarkov, 20 minutes. So I plugged it in and went back upstairs. Where the next day I come back down, unplugged it, put it back on. It said I had 2% battery life left. I thought, okay, can't plug it into my computer to charge it, so I plugged it into the wall. Played the next day I come down and I edited the podcast is what I did. Okay. It took me like a half an hour, shut it off, turned it back on or plugged it back in. And it said I had like 20% of battery left. So I took it back. Very disappointed in that headset. Horrible.
Just get IEMs.
As far as gaming headsets go, there's only one that I will recommend to anyone anymore, and that's SteelSeries. The Arctis 7
I was a big IEM guy.
Are the best like multi-use headset I have ever had. I still have.
I've heard SteelSeries is good. I've heard Astro's really good too. A lot of people really like Astros. A50s.
The problem was
was that wireless or wired?
Wireless. Yeah.
How long would the battery last on those?
Oh, quite a few hours.
Like more than like 4 hours?
I mean, the Arctic, the Steel Series would last, an entire gaming session. I used to do like 10-hour.
Well, it depended on my like
that
gaming
makes
sessions.
sense.
I mean, there'd be times where I was back when I was single, didn't have kids, all that good stuff. I could play for hours on end. I could wake up
back
on a
in the
Saturday
good old
morning
days, man.
I could just game all day, and it was just by the time nighttime hit around, I'd be like, well, no, I don't. I'm
like completely shut off from wireless headsets right now because I don't want that. What these IEMs that you rave about, right? Can you hear like people talking in the background behind you?
No, I can't hear anybody on the. My wife will try and talk to me, and I'm like, I cannot hear a single word you're saying.
Because Zeus likes his open ears. Because you have the what do you have, Zeus?
I have the Sennheiser HD 650s.
Right.
Like I spent a bunch. They're open. I know you can't hear me.
Right.
They're open back headphones, so like I hear myself the same way with and without them. I can have music playing in the background. I did the other night actually while I was in Discord, and with the noise cancellation, I was able to listen to my music playing on the TV and sound system behind me completely as if I wasn't wearing headphones, and they could not hear it at all in Discord.
So here's the question though: like, if Missa comes down and talks to you, you could hear her.
100%. I can have a full conversation with someone that's next to me.
I don't want that. I want to be locked off from the world.
Get a pair of IEMs, try them out. If you don't like them, return them.
What do they cost? What do they cost?
I don't remember what I paid for them. I got these like 4 years ago. Travis actually is the one who got me into IEMs because I was trying to replace my A50s. I was trying to find a good headset. He was like, bro, get these IEMs. And he sent me the exact ones he had. Once I got these, done. I wasn't changing from them.
By the way, what broke on my second Corsair Dark Core Pro is the scroll wheel completely.
Oh, I've had that
If you go up, it like goes down constantly. The second one I've had, and that's $100 mouse. Okay. So this one I really, really like it.
So Casey, I've got my Naga X. This was like 140. The headphones.
And you use a wired mouse.
I use a wired mouse because you have to plug it in and charge it anyway at some point.
No, you're right. Every once in a while, I play with mine plugged in. I do.
And the thing is,
it irritates me because I'm used to it being wireless. So.
Oh, I just have a bunch of extra stuff. So I have all of my.
Do you have one of those like things that holds the wire up?
No. So what I have is I have a USB extender that's directly underneath the monitor that's right in front of me. Mm-hmm. So like I have all of this cord to play with.
Yeah.
And so I don't ever run into any issues. I have one of those 3.5 foot by 2 foot mouse pads. I got
one too.
One of the Goliaths. Although mine was custom made. It's amazing. My girlfriend had my logo put on this mouse for me.
Yeah, I put my logo on mine.
But as far as the headphones go, I'm not gonna lie, they were I did get them on sale, but my sale price was still $400.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
I don't know how much they cost. Casey, who's new to PC gaming, he's not new to gaming, just PC gaming. He said he got the Steel Series Arctic Nova 7s and says he loves them.
The Steel Series Arctic 7s are amazing. The biggest.
I just don't like the way the Steel Series ones look. But like,
seriously,
I really, really hate the way the Corsair ones like fit. They're not round. They're like triangular kind of. It was super. It was everything about those headphones.
Who are you trying to impress with looks? Make sure it's functional.
I want it to be functional, but I also like this one, right? Like I don't use this microphone here. I've got this like the microphone was like massive right here. It just everything about it irritated me.
All right, chat. Let us know down in the comments if you think CC's headphones look dumb or you like them, and if they would make you turn away or not.
Yeah, my headphones are cool.
They're cool now.
I did want to talk about The Witcher before we
signed off.
There is a bunch of Witcher news.
Yes.
CDPR almost ruined Witcher 3. Kai, what's that about?
Oh, this was just like a little after they released 4, they kind of talked about how in The Witcher 3 what they were initially going to do was when you were going to go swim, you would drown if you had your gear on and you were too heavy, you were just going to instantly sink to the bottom, and what you would have to do is drop all your armor, drop your weapons, and then swim across. Which I'm like, well, then how do you get your armor and weapons back and all that good stuff? But you'd have to drop that stuff in order to swim. But they were like, well, is it immersive or is it too realistic? And I'm like, that's too realistic. I'm not playing a video game of The Witcher to be so realistic. I mean, he can take a drink and then fight a werewolf. I don't need something that is like, oh, he can't swim with this armor on.
Also in my 10, I'll take The Witcher in my 10.
In your top 10. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's from America, but I get what you're saying.
It's cool. No, to fight the gorilla.
Are you going back to
not to fight the Brits
fighting thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not to fight the Brits. We don't need him to fight the Brits.
My question is, and I would say put this in the comments. Let us know. Do you think that a video game, especially something like The Witcher, where obviously it's not even really based off of like magic, like Harry Potter and stuff. Do you think the gameplay should be more realistic, where if they're wearing heavy armor, they should sink, or do you think it should be more towards like a relaxed
Tarkov, dude? If you have too much stuff in your bag, you can't run. I mean, it's right. I love it,
but look how immersive,
made to be realistic.
Yeah, that's I mean, you have different types of ammo.
I can't
for
walk
the
into
same
customs.
round.
No, okay. Here's the question: do you have to swim across this thing for the game? I mean, how hard is it to find new gear? I mean, I don't know anything about it, so I mean, yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played any Witcher games, so
while they're figuring that stuff out, Witcher 4 gameplay, a 9-minute trailer came out, 60 FPS, because that is what games should be releasing at, not this 30 stuff. Looking at you, Rockstar.
Ray tracing, and it was played on the base PS5. So I think that was the biggest takeaway from that.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's a base PS5.
More advanced
120 frames or just the Pro? I don't know. I know the PS. I think it is 120, but yeah. Okay. Huh? Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I've never played one of those games. I don't know if they're any good or not. So, not a big single player guy.
They made a whole show off of it, and people were huge fans of it. And
I know people. I know people love it. I've just never. Yeah. I've watched some of the show. I've just never played the game.
How dare you not support our Lord and Savior Henry Cavill? All right?
I love Henry Cavill. Okay, I believe
can't wait for
the best Superman.
That's what I'm waiting for.
That's my dude.
The Man of Steel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my dude. I love him.
Well, the good news is the game is going to have multi-character motion matching. So basically, whatever you're doing with the character, it's going to make it seem so much more realistic. So the environment will affect however they're moving, no matter what angle you turn around on the character. So if the wind blows, their cape moves, stuff like that, which is pretty sweet. They do have a new skin system where the skin, muscle, bones, everything like that shows a more realistic movement. And I think the biggest example they did was they zoomed in on the horse, and you could see its ribs and how its muscles were reflecting in its legs and its hind area in a sense, and how everything, the skin was moving, the shadows were changing based on how it was moving. So, I mean, looked great. Now, the question I have there is, do you think it's going to be, it looks like that at all the time? Or is it one of those, they really enhance this area for the trailer or a cutscene, and then once it gets into the game, it looks nothing like that anymore? But they're saying it's supposed to be, pretty much like that. I mean, they have, there's going to be many reactions between NPCs themselves, whether it be with Geralt or really anybody in the background, and it's supposed to continue no matter what. So wherever you go in the game, the environment of that area is going to continue to build, kind of like Red Dead, how they're building a house, the house continues to build, all that good stuff. And based on what you do with an NPC, if you bump into them, they're going to yell at you, they're going to spit at you, whatever it is. It's not just going to be excuse me. It's going to be specific as to what you do, whether you tip them, whether you hit them.
What was that noise again?
And then they're saying that it looks like it's possible that it's more advanced than GTA 6.
What?
So that's a claim. I'm not, for anybody who's seen the trailer,
a lot.
Do you think it looks better than the GTA 6 trailer with what the mechanics it has in it, or is it lesser? It still looks good, I'm sure, but do you think it's better?
I'm still amazed at how good Red Dead 2 looks. I mean, so I'm excited. Now I'm gonna have to check this trailer out. But Kai, why don't you wrap it up for us, man, so we can get out of this chair with my kidney stone.
You don't want to stay in that trailer a little bit longer?
No, I'm ready to get up. I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. Well, you don't have to yell at me. Shout out again to Trent for leaving a comment, having us react. So anybody else, thank you for watching. Just let us know in the comments, similar to what Trent did. If there's anything you agree or disagree with, or something you want us to discuss next week, you can catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and we're back on Rumble. I'll try and set it up a little bit different for next week. Maybe we'll have some more problems you guys can watch for 20 minutes. And then follow us on our socials: Patreon, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram. If you follow us on Facebook, you can have CC's number. All right.
No, I moved it off there. I took it off.
Damn it. All right. Well, have a good one either way.